So hello Achievers, today I'm with a new guest. I just met him. He's amazing because I love his definition of the leadership. That's why I started to ask him, can you share that? He's Robert Richman. He has a book, so you will discover this book also. With me, because I'm discovering him. He's with me to answer my question. So hello Robert.
Hi, nice to see you.
How are you?
Great.
I love the way you explained me the leadership. That's why I decided to ask you front of the cameras, because I don't want to keep that only for me.
Yeah.
I imagine that we will find everything in your book, right? So what is leadership for you?
Leadership I see it from an organizational standpoint. So anybody can be a leader to start something and do something and gather people around, but in an organization, it's somebody who has a lot of authority, somebody who has decision-making power. Anybody in that position
The manager.
is a leader. Like a manager has that, anybody who has authority within an organization.
So yes, can we develop leadership?
Yeah, absolutely. There's two ways to really develop it. One is that it can't really truly be taught in a way, because what a leader does is takes a goal and accomplishes it with a group of people. And the best training any leader can do is to simply do it and to say, okay, I'm going to accomplish this with this group of people and learn through it, learn from the highs, learn from the lows, and simply take it on. That's one side of learning leadership, is just simply actually doing it. The other side of it is taking on a leadership philosophy, which is what is going to actually inform the choices that I make. So an example of a leadership philosophy is one where the leader always gives full credit to the team, says the team did it when we accomplished something. But if something goes wrong, takes full responsibility and accountability and says it's my fault. I'm taking responsibility for it. So that's one example of a leadership philosophy that is the criteria for a leader making their decisions.
So let's see, in my company, my assistant do a mistake. When you say that I take the responsibility, do you mean publicly or also in private?
Yeah, both, private and in public. To say that gives the team the safety to say that they can play and they can mess up and they can actually fail, and it doesn't mean that they're going to get blamed. That they can keep on experimenting because the leader is saying, hey, I've got your back. You do your job. Don't worry about messing up. Just focus on the goal. Focus on the prize. Don't worry about messing up. If you do, I've got your back.
Okay, and it's very interesting because I think that a lot of leaders or managers or entrepreneurs are maybe afraid to do that because maybe they think that if they do that, the people will not take their own responsibility. So how can we do to be safe also as a leader, to take the responsibility and also help the people to learn?
Right. Well, the first thing is you need to make sure you, one, find people who want to be responsible. So first, only have people on your team who actually are responsible people. And then testing, are they actually responsible? Actually, in those first early times of being an employee, put them on tests. See if they're actually going to take full responsibility. If they don't take it within the first few weeks when they're in their best behaviors, then they're never going to do it. So for those first time, create tests to make sure that they take full responsibility.
And how do you test that?
So for example, you say that please show up at this time every day. And you have to show up at that time every day. If you don't, you're not a member of this team. So rather than them saying, oh, I'm sorry, I had this come up, I had to do this other thing. No, you're here at this time. 9 a.m. every day we start. If they can't just show up on time every day for a few weeks, then they're not taking full responsibility.
Okay, so you test at the beginning.
Exactly. You test at the beginning, and then if you get the right people in who are driven and they take full responsibility, then all you have to do is give it over to them. Because if you've got strong people on your team, strong players, they will beat up themselves way more than you will beat them up because they want to do a good job. So it's about selecting the right people.
I have another question. It's okay for you?
Yeah.
When in my field, I deal with success, self-confidence, and leadership, communication, and we can read a lot of amazing biography about Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and Steve Jobs, and a lot of these people. So, do you think everybody can become a leader?
I do. I do. It's more, though, the nature, if you think of those people, it wasn't so much their skill, I think, as much as what they were willing to give up. Gandhi, Steve Jobs, they gave up a lot of things that are comfortable for you and I, maybe. You know, and they said, I'm willing to let go of those things in order to completely focus on being a great leader. So they were willing to focus completely and just have that be their one and only aim. And I think all of us can do that, but we have to give up a lot of the rest of our life in order to get that.
So it is fantasy to want to become a new Gandhi without lose my comfort.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And is it possible to have an organization without a leader?
It's a great question. I don't believe there is. I haven't seen it yet. If there is, I haven't seen it. I always feel that it's a really great question. We might see some emerge with self-organizing systems that are coming up. But I always think it comes down to inspirational leadership.
Great. And my last question.
Yeah.
Because I love this topic.
Yeah.
Like you see. For example, we are building a new startup. We are 4 co-founders. Do you think there will be 4 leaders?
At the startup phase, I think you all definitely have to be leaders. The question is, what voice is each person holding? Sometimes it's the voice of innovation, sometimes it's the voice of fighting, sometimes it's the voice of inspiration. Each of the 4 of you will be holding a different voice that you're bringing to the table. And that's what I think the leadership is. There are different types of leaders, and so you're going to be bringing different leadership styles. And I like to think about leaders like, in our country, Abraham Lincoln, who purposely brought together people he disagreed with so that he could get different perspectives, because when everybody agrees, that's not the best for the company, because you're only seeing one viewpoint. But if there's heavy disagreement, it's actually a healthy sign.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
So the last thing, how we can find your book?
It's the Culture Blueprint. It's at cultureblueprint.com.
Okay, it's easy.
Yeah.
And can we find it on Amazon?
Not yet. Not yet. I don't know when this is going live, but you'll be able to get the update on cultureblueprint.com, and it's going to be for sale soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
Thank you.